Hey. Let's go. It's Sil. Let's go. Gad work, all contact, no pad work. They know that I'm Israel, know that I'm Jacob, boy, and I don't need lab work. That bougie dog, get it back first. I'ma cut him a son of that slab work. And this ain't a place for your cash work. This chair don't work like a calf work. It's it, let's go. Immortal, point me straight to my portal. These dogs is acting immoral, and your death is about to be plural. Man, give me a leash, God power my leap. Moonwalk in that seat, white quill in that tree. Boy, sit up straight, you in front of the chief. Any that left, it's you and I. It's big Gad, no BMI. And I ain't worried about dogs, they ain't seeing I. And don't ask for with people, that's TMI. Well, that's TMI. And I'm walking around with power that no man can measure. Shout out to Solomon, this is pressure.
This thumping the bang your speakers. We emerge from the chamber of secrets. Put a lock on the target for all that he parted. We gotta reclaim all the breaches. Bombs, this is the day. Everything that you taken away. See the chariots up in the sky, but the oracle say what it say. It's thumping the bang your speakers. We emerge from the chamber of secrets. Put a lock on the target for all that he parted. We gotta reclaim all the breaches. Bombs, this is the day. Everything that you taken away. See the chariots up in the sky, but the oracle say what it say.
I'm not a bad individual, I just made some mistakes on my way down the road. Drop that old man like a give and go. The one in the mirror is my biggest fall. Ain't gonna act like it's difficult. I gotta get right cause the time ain't gon' slow. Gotta do as it is written though. Man, I thank the Lord if you didn't know. He saved my life. When I'm with my brothers, I'm in my own world. Flip through the scripts and see diamonds and pearls. Wickedness, I just leave that for the journal. Came in it, I finished slide on my jewels in other cities. I found a brand new way of life. Never alone, even though nobody with me. I got my God, he saved my life. Why you in my way? Kingdom on the line, I cannot play. No, not today, okay. I'm not a bad individual, I just made some mistakes on my way down the road. Drop that old man like a give and go. The one in the mirror is my biggest fall. Ain't gonna act like it's difficult. I gotta get right cause the time ain't gon' slow. Gotta do as it is written though. Man, I thank the Lord if you didn't know. He saved my life.
I had to get the right living the sinner life. Could've went wrong. I done fell plenty times, but I'm in a fight. Still holding on. You need to decide if you really on this side. Then move along. And this is the end times, yeah, this is the end. Don't leave me alone. My father gave me the recipe. Day to day, I see that Satan be vesting me. I had to become a better me. Walking different, had to switch up the energy. Wishing death upon the enemy. Son of perdition ain't who he pretend to be. Now I'm steady learning lessons, searching out the blessings that Moses has said to me.
For a while I was wild and the old man inside me had my vision blinded. Searching to find it, had to change up.
Could've went wrong.
Now I'm trying to stay up.
Still holding on.
I'm not a bad individual, I just made some mistakes on my way down the road. Drop that old man like a give and go. The one in the mirror is my biggest fall. Ain't gonna act like it's difficult. I gotta get right cause the time ain't gon' slow. Gotta do as it is written though. Man, I thank the Lord if you didn't know. He saved my life.
Wagwan, I done made some mistakes, ain't no bar mine. And it pours when it rains, hope it washed off the stains. They still look at me strange for the outcome. Yeah. How come he chose me to walk up this mountain? And all of the blessings and mercies I've seen on this journey, I never forgot one. And all of a sudden it is what it was, and I'm seeing the suffering, I'm sick to my stomach. Betrayed him for nothing, divided the judgment. He raining out curses on dirty as dust. Now how can I function? I'm knowing the life that I live could lead to destruction. Kingdom is coming. Get it together, no time for dysfunction.
I'm not a bad individual, I just made some mistakes on my way down the road. Drop that old man like a give and go. The one in the mirror is my biggest fall. Ain't gonna act like it's difficult. I gotta get right cause the time ain't gon' slow. Gotta do as it is written though. Man, I thank the Lord if you didn't know. He saved my life.
us against the world. What will we?
Hey, shalom, shalom. Good morning, good morning. Sound check. Can y'all hear me? All right, all right, all right. All right, all praise, all praise. All right, Israel. Shalom, good morning again. I'm Captain Josiah out of Raleigh, North Carolina. This is History in the AM. We're back, you know. Been a little while since I've been on plantation. It's been crazy, but all praises. I get another opportunity to sit before the greatest people on the planet Earth, the Israelites. In case you don't know what I'm talking about. We're going through Judges chapter 19, Lord willing, through 21, just to finish it out. Since I've been doing history in the AM, I started in Judges, so finishing it out today. Unfortunately, they're not all on this captain's page. Some on Daily Bread, some on Facebook. So if you hadn't seen the other ones, you have to go back and find them. So let's jump right in. Judges chapter 19, verse 1. And it came to pass in those days, when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim. All right, so we got a Levite living in Ephraim. Matter of fact, I always like to pull this map, so I'm gonna just show y'all real quick. Okay. Primarily, most of what we're reading about, or we're going to read about in today's lesson, will be obviously in Ephraim. You see Benjamin below it in the yellowish orange color. Some of that right down into Judah as well, which is like the green color. Primarily in those regions there. That's, you know, what we're going to be reading about today. Judges 19 through 21. All right, so I read again. And it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning in the side of Mount Ephraim, who took to him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. So, go back to the map again. So sojourning in Mount Ephraim, and it says he took a wife from Bethlehem, Judah. Now, if you go further down, like I said, to the yellowish orange, that's Benjamin, and then below that is Judah. Now, if you see right below the text that says Benjamin, you see Bethlehem. Okay, that's Bethlehem, Judah right there. All right. Bethlehem means the house of bread. Okay, the house of bread. So he took a concubine from Bethlehem, Judah. Now, I want to get that real quick. As a matter of fact. All right, concubine. In the Bible, denotes a female conjugally united to a man, but in relation inferior to that of a wife. Among the early Jews, from the various causes, the difference between a wife and a concubine was less marked than it would be amongst us. Do you want to keep going? The concubine was a wife of a secondary rank. Okay, the various laws recorded provided for their protection. Okay, so the point I wanted was the concubine was a wife of a secondary rank. Okay. That's what that's going into. And his concubine played, verse 2, and his concubine played the whore against him and went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 whole months. Dang. Played the whore, just left 4 months, gone. He don't know where the hell she at. Okay. Madness. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her. Simping. Okay. Let the hoe go. All right. This dude went after her. She gone 4 months, and he went after her to speak friendly unto her as Levi. Levi. Dang. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her and to bring her again, having his servant with him. So he went to go get her and to bring her back. Okay. Now, there was no king in Israel. All right. One thing we gotta remember when we read the scriptures, everything our forefathers and foremothers did was not righteous. Okay. That's why this is called history in the AM. Some things we got to look back and say, listen, we're not doing that. Okay. We got to follow the laws. All right. Verse 3 again. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her and to bring her again, having his servant with him and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him. And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days. So they did eat and drink and lodge there. So he went to the father-in-law's house. They just kicking it, kick back, eating and drinking. He didn't go curse the wife out, curse the father-in-law out, saying, yo, listen, your daughter, I found her not to be a maid. She's a whore. He just went eating and drinking, whatever the case. Verse 5. And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that he rose up to depart. And the damsel's father said unto his son, and the damsel's father said unto his son-in-law, comfort thine heart with a morsel of bread, and afterward go your way. So listen, have something else to eat, and then you can go. And they sat down and did eat and drink, both of them together. For the damsel's father had said unto the man, be content, I pray thee, and tarry all night, and let thine heart be merry. So now he's changing it up. Like, listen, just stay. Okay, you good. Just chill. Kick back. And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him. Therefore he lodged there again. So he stayed. And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart. And the damsel's father said, comfort thine heart, I pray thee. And they tarried until afternoon, and they did eat, both of them. So he must like the brother, Like, listen, just stay, man. You good. Verse 9. And when the man rose up to depart, he and his concubine and his servant, his father-in-law, the damsel's father, said unto him, behold, now the day draweth toward evening. I pray you, tarry all night. Behold, the day groweth to an end. Okay. Lodge here, that thine heart may be merry, and tomorrow get you early on your way, that thou mayest go home. But the man would not tarry that night. He said, listen, nah, I gotta go. Been 5 days, I gotta go. All right. But the man would not tarry that night, but he rose up and departed and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem. Okay. Jebus, which is Jerusalem. At this time, remember, we were taking over the quote unquote land of Canaan. It was called the land of Canaan at this particular time because they inhabited it before us. So the Jebusites dwelt in Jerusalem. This was called Jebus before. And there were with him 2 asses saddled. His concubine also was with him. All right. Verse 11. And when they were by Jebus, the day was far spent. And the servant said unto his master, come, I pray thee, and let us turn into this city of the Jebusites. There's the proof. Come, I pray thee, and let us turn into the city of the Jebusites. All right. And lodge in it. So his servant, like, listen, we can kick here with the Jebusites. Verse 12. And his master said unto him, we will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger that is not of the children of Israel. We will pass over to Gibeah. Okay. Gibeah, let me see if I can find that real quick. I'll keep going and get on the next one. That is not of the children of Israel. We will pass over to Gibeah. And he said unto his servant, come and let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night in Gibeah. or in Ramah. All right, so let me go back. Okay, so that word Gibeah means a hill or a hill town. All right, Gibeah. Now, if you look again at Ephraim, below it is Benjamin, okay, in the yellowish orange, right beside Dan. If you see Gibeon right there, that's what we're reading about. Okay, Gibeah, a hill or a hill town. That's what it means. And Ramah means a height. Ramah is right beside Gibeon. If you look at that, you see them right beside each other. I don't have a cursor on the screen, so hopefully I'll see it. All right. Gibeah meaning a hill or hill town. Ramah meaning a height. Okay. Verse 14. And they passed on and went their way, and the sun went down upon them when they were in Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin. Okay, so now again, let's go back to the map, show y'all again. And they were by Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin. Okay, now you see Benjamin there, but it's not directly on top of the land, so you can see the cities and whatnot as well. Okay. Verse 15, and they turned aside thither to go in and lodge in Gibeah, and when he went in, he sat down in a street of the city, for there was no man that took them into his house to lodging. Okay, there was no man that took him in. And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at even, which was also of Mount Ephraim. So there came out another man that was also of Mount Ephraim. Remember, this Levite that was sojourning in Mount Ephraim. So 16 again, and behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at even, which was also of Mount Ephraim, and he sojourned in Gibeah. But the men of the place were Benjamites. Okay. I want to get this. Let me see something real quick. Give me a second. Sorry. 17. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city. All right, wayfaring means a traveling man. Brother was traveling. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city. And the old man said, this is the Levite. The wayfaring man was a Levite. So the man from Mount Ephraim saw the Levite traveling. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city. And the old man said, whither goest thou, and whence comest thou? And he said unto him, we are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim. From thence am I. And I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I am now going to the house of the Lord, and there is no man that receiveth me to house. Let's get Hebrews 13:1. He said it in verse 15 as well. He said it there too. 15. And they turned aside thither to go in and to lodge in Gibeah. And when he had went in, he sat down in a street of the city, but there was no man that took them into a house to lodging. Benjamin, no charity from Benjamin. They like, listen, to hell with you. Let's get Hebrews 13:1. It says, again, this history in the AM. So you see like certain things happen. There was no king, and we see brothers traveling and nobody showing any hospitality at all. All right, Hebrews 13:1. Let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers. Okay. So a stranger, it's not talking about the other nations. It's saying strange into your land. If you live in North Carolina, brothers traveling from Cali, New York, whatever the case, you should open up your house. A lot of times, single brothers, single sisters, single brothers traveling, you can, hey, yeah, you come kick it with me. That's what this is talking about here. let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. So the scriptures are saying, let's not forget to entertain strangers. Show a level of hospitality when brothers and sisters alike are traveling. Okay. Verse 18. And he said unto him, we are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim. From thence am I. And I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I am now going to the house of the Lord, and there is no man that receiveth me to house. All right, so he's going to the house of the Lord. What's that talking about? Let's get Judges chapter 18 and 31. It says, and they sent them, and they set them up Micah's graven image, which he made all the time that the house of God was in Shiloh. Okay, the house of God was in Shiloh. I'll show you one more. And it's they both chapter 18. Joshua chapter 18 and 1. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together at Shiloh and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there. Okay, that's the house of God. The tabernacle was there in Shiloh. All right, and I read again. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together at Shiloh and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there. And the land was subdued before them. So that's the point. The tabernacle or the house of God was in Shiloh. So that's where he was going. He's like, listen, I'm trying to go to Shiloh, where the tabernacle is. Okay. Now let me show y'all that. Okay. So if you look at Ephraim again, Ephraim in the purple in the middle, directly to the right of Ephraim, you see Ophrah, and right above that, you see Shiloh right there. Okay. So that's where he's going. He says, 18 again, and he said unto him, we are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, which was in the green down there, right below Benjamin, passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim. So you see it. It's on the eastern coast of the allotment of Ephraim. On the side of Mount Ephraim, from thence am I. And I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I am now going to the house of the Lord. All right. Which was in Shiloh, according to Judges 18 and 1, Joshua 18 and 1. And there is no man that receiveth me to house. Verse 19. Yet there is both straw and provender for our asses, and there is bread and wine also for me, and for thine handmaid, and for the young man which is with thy servants. There is no want for anything. So you listen, like, I just need a place to stay. I got everything else I need, got food, such and such. Nobody's letting me chill with them. All right, 20. And the old man said, peace be unto thee. That's shalom. All right, shalom. Peace be unto thee. Peace be with thee. Howsoever let all thy wants lie upon me. Only lodge not in the street. So he said, listen, everything you need, I'll take care of it. Just don't deal in the street. So he had hospitality. Okay. So he brought him into his house and gave provender unto the asses, and they washed their feet and did eat and drink. Verse 22. Now as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, beset the house round about, and beat at the door, and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him. Okay. Hey, Israel, give me a couple of minutes. Give me a couple of minutes. I apologize. I'm going to be right back. Hold on one second.
Hey. Let's go. Let's go. Gad work, all contact, no pad work. They know that I'm Israel, know that I'm Jacob, boy, and I don't need lab work. That bougie dog, get it back first. I'ma cut him a son of that slab work. And this ain't a place where your cash work. This chair don't work like a calf work. It's it, let's go. Immortal, point me straight to my portal. These dogs is acting immoral, and your death is about to be plural. Man, give me a leash, God power my leap. Moonwalk in that seat, white quill in that tree. Boy, sit up straight, you in front of the chief. Any that left, it's you and I. It's big Gad, no BMI. And I ain't worried about dogs, they ain't seeing I. And don't ask for it, people, that's TMI. Well, that's TMI. And I'm walking around with power that no man can measure. Shout out to Solomon, this is pressure.
This number in the bank in your speakers. We emerge from the chamber of secrets. Put a lock on the target for all that he parted. We gotta reclaim all the breaches. Bombs, this is the day. Everything that you've taken away. See the chariots up in the sky. But the oracle say what it say. This number in the bank in your speakers. We emerge from the chamber of secrets. Put a lock on the target for all that he parted. We gotta reclaim all the breaches. Bombs, this is the day. Everything that you've taken away. See the chariots up in the sky. But the oracle say what it say.
All right, Israel. My apologies. Judges 19 and 22 again. Now, as they were making their hearts merry, behold, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, sons of the damn devil. That's what that is. Belial or Baal, sons of the devil. In Benjamin, certain sons of Belial beset the house round about. So the brother traveling, the man of Mount Ephraim, show him some hospitality, let him come in, and certain Benjamites surrounded the daggone house and beat at the door and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him, that we may know him. Just in case some of y'all might know or might not know what that means, let's get a couple of precepts on it. Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew his wife, and she conceived. All right. And bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. So Adam knew his wife and she conceived. So they said, bring him out that we may know him. That's why it says certain sons of Belial. These are damn demons. Okay. Verse 23. And the man, the master of the house, went out unto them and said unto them, nay, my brethren, nay, I pray you, do not so wickedly, seeing that this man is come into mine house. Do not this folly. Brothers, please, no. Don't do this. I'm just showing him hospitality. Okay. He said, do not this folly. Folly means foolishness. All right. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. Them I will bring out now, and humble ye them, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man do so. It says, do not so vile a thing. Let's get Leviticus. Let's just get the law in it. Like I said, everything we read in the scriptures, whether it's through the history and whatnot, does not mean our people were righteous. And he's saying, don't do this folly. Then right here, he called it a vile thing. This is the law in it. Leviticus 18 and 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. What are they doing in society today? They make it okay. And they want you to accept it as well. They want to desensitize our people to accept sin and foolishness. Okay, he called it folly. That's foolishness. Then he said, do not sow a vile thing. Or do not sow vile a thing. Let me show y'all that, matter of fact. Show y'all that. Look at this. Foul. Wretchedly bad, highly offensive, unpleasant, objectionable, repulsive, disgusting. Disgusting. Okay. Verse 24 at the bottom, it says, but unto this man do not so vile a thing. This is repulsive, disgusting. Listen, it's two women right here. Okay, like, you know, if y'all want to get down here, you know, but don't do this vile thing, this disgusting thing. Let's see what else is on this. Morally debased, depraved, despicable. Okay, morally debased. That's why we have Leviticus 18:22 is a moral law. All right, moral laws. Don't lie with mankind as you lie with womankind. It is abomination. Okay, that's why our laws are diverse from all the nations. All right, but you see the wicked of our people, some of them fell into it. Okay, 5, foul, filthy, poor, wretched, of a mean or low condition, menial. All right, disgusting, foul. Let's get Romans chapter 1. Romans 1. Into that word vile. Romans 1. Where I want to start. I started 25. Well, 24. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts. See that? Through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie. That's us. We changed Leviticus 18:22 into making it okay. We changed the black image of Jesus and allowed ourselves to believe that it's a so-called Caucasian image. Okay, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than their creator, who was blessed forever. Amen. But this cause, because we changed the truth of God into a lie, but this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. God gave us up to vile, disgusting, repulsive, filthy, okay, of a low condition, morally debased. God gave us, God gave them up unto vile affections. See, I didn't want to say us because, you know, I ain't into that. Of course, we did other wicked things in the world, but you know, all praises, we didn't go that far. But for this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. See that? Even the women did that. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, as certain sons of Belial and Judges 19. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman. That's why he said, listen, it's I got, you know, my daughter, he got his concubine here. If anything, you know, you deal with them like that, not this man. That's vile, that's morally debased, disgusting, repulsive. You don't do that. All right. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lusts one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of the error which was meet, meaning rights. Okay. Now I'm gonna jump down to verse 32. For you know, people that say, oh, you know, it's okay, you know, it ain't no problem with me. You know, do your thing. Verse 32, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death. Those who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death. Not only do the same, okay, not only partake in that, not the ones that just partake in it, but having pleasure in them that do them. Okay, that's the same thing. It's like, listen, you know, do your thing. That ain't got nothing to do with me. y'all over there, fine. No. Okay, you get the same judgment because you're okay with it. That's morally debased. This is your society, your culture, your people. Okay, we should not accept our people being morally debased, disgusting, vile, and so forth. Let's go back to Judges 19 and 24 again. Behold, here's my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. Them I will bring out now, and humble ye them, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man do not so vile a thing. But the men would not hearken to him. So the man took his concubine and brought her forth with them. So they no, hell no, we not listening to you. So he had to do something. Okay. So the man took his concubine and brought her forth unto them, and they knew her and abused her all night until the morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. So all night, Benjamin just running through her. Okay. That's rape. That's called rape. That's what it is. Let's get Deuteronomy 22. All right. Let me show y'all what the Bible defines rape as. Deuteronomy 22 and 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall what? Die. Shall die. The man only shall die. That's the judgment that's supposed to be upon him. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For when as a man, this is the point, for as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. So when a man rises against his neighbor and kills him, that's what rape is just like murder. Rape is carries the same penalty as murder. Rape and murder is the same thing. Okay. Judges 19 and 26. Then came the woman in the dawning of the day and fell down at the door of the man's house, where her Lord was till it was light. So she came in, crawling, stumbling over. Okay. 27. And her Lord rose up in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold. And he said unto her, Up, and let us be going. But none answered. Then the man took her up on an ass, and the man rose up and got him into his place. So she didn't answer. Got her up, put her on the ass. Verse 29. And they killed her. Okay. They raped her all night, abused her, forced her, and she ended up dying from that. Okay. Verse 29. And when he was come into his house, he took a knife and laid hold on his concubine and divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces and sent her into all the coast of Israel. And it was so that all that saw it said, there was no such deed done nor seen from the day that the children of Israel came out of the land of Egypt unto this day. Consider it, take advice, and speak your mind. So they said, listen, we got to counsel on this. This is some wicked stuff right here. We gotta take counsel and figure out what we're gonna do about this situation. Okay. And he did that to get everybody involved in it. All right. Chapter 20, verse 1. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered together as one man, from Dan even to Beersheba, with the land of Gilead, unto the Lord in Mizpah. Now, let me see. Pull this map back up. See if we can find some of these. me a sec here. All right, so we read 20 and 1. I'll read it again. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation were gathered together as one man from Dan even to Beersheba. All right. Beersheba means well of the oath. Well of the oath. All right. The well part is Beersheba. Sheba is the oath. Well of the oath. With the land of Gilead unto the Lord in Mizpah. All right. Mizpah means watchtower. And let me see here. All right. Now, if you look where we were earlier, Gibeon, again, in the land of Benjamin, the yellowish orange right in the center. You see Gibeon and Mizpah is right above Gibeon or Gibeah. All right. That's Mizpah, which means watchtower. This is where they're at right here. They symbol here. Verse 2. And the chief of all the people, even all the tribes of Israel, presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 footmen that drew sword. Now the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel were gone up to Mizpah. So they heard about, okay, what the hell's going on? Everybody's assembling in Mizpah, which means watchtower. Then said the children of Israel, tell us, how was this wickedness? So what the hell happened here? How did we end up in this situation? Okay, we coming out of Egypt, the Lord delivered us. We ain't seen no wickedness like this ever. How did we get here? Okay, tell us, how was this wickedness? Verse 4. And the Levite, the husband of the woman that was slain, answered and said, I came into Gibeah that belongeth to Benjamin, I and my concubine to lodge. And the men of Gibeah rose up against me and beset the house round about upon me by night, and thought to have slain me. You see that? So they wanted to kill me. But that's the same thing. Rape is just like murder. All right. And have thought, they said that we may know him, but he like, listen, that's murder. Okay. They thought to kill me, thought to have slain me, and my concubine have they forced that she is dead. See that? That's Deuteronomy 22, 25, and 26. They forced her. No, they didn't stop until the daybreak, all night. Different brothers, running through it. Verse 6. And I took my concubine and cut her in pieces and sent her throughout all the country of the inheritance of Israel. For they have committed lewdness and folly in Israel. Behold, ye are the children of Israel. Give here your advice and counsel. And all the people arose as one man, saying, we will not any of us go to his tent, neither will we any of us turn into his house. But now this shall be the thing which we will do to Gibeah. We will go up by lot against it. All right. Listen, we got to deal with this right now. This can't wait. We ain't going home to kick it. Deal with it tomorrow. Nah. We got to go deal with this now. Okay. Verse 10. And we will take 10 men out of 100 throughout all the tribes of Israel. Now it says 10 men throughout all the tribes. All right. Out of 100. And 100 of 1,000 and 1,000 out of 10,000 to fetch victuals for the people that they may do when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin, according to all that folly that they have wrought in Israel. So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man. Now that's a yeah, I want to go to that. That's a precept, like what Christ said in John 17 and John 17 and 11. And now I am more in the world, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, meaning the apostles, the elect. I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I am come to thee, Holy Father. So if Christ was the Father, how is he saying, I am coming to thee? It says, and I come to thee, Holy Father. Christianity makes the Bible contradict itself. Okay, they do that by that misinterpreting scriptures. Okay, meaning 1 John 5, they misinterpreted these three are one. This goes into this. Okay, this clarifies what that meant. I'll read this again. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I am come to thee, Holy Father. Keep them through thy name, those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we. Okay, that they may be one as we are. The 12 and so forth, let them be one as we are. Same thing what was happening here, meaning one mind, one judgment. Okay, same goal, same mission. Focus on this particular thing. Okay. At that, Christ is talking about obviously the kingdom, unifying, get the nation together. At this time, they going against Benjamin for that wickedness they did. Judges 20 and 11 again. So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man. Now that's not, again, clearly that's not literal. Okay. They were all of one mind, one judgment to judge the matter. Okay. That this deserves death right here. Verse 12. And the tribes of Israel sent men throughout all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, what wickedness is this that is done among you? Now therefore deliver us the men, the children of Belial, which are in Gibeah, that we may put them to death and put away evil from Israel. So they said, hey, go get us the brothers. We know it wasn't everybody. Go find the men that did this. They got to die. They got to be put to death. But the children of Benjamin would not hearken to the voice of their brethren, the children of Israel. Benjamin like, nah, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. So let's get a precept on that. All right. They said, we're not doing it. We're not turning them over. Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness whether he have seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, he shall bear his iniquity. So if you see sin, you're supposed to tell, hey, they did such and such. The children of Israel came to Gibeah to find the brothers that did the wickedness. They're like, listen, tell us who the brothers are. Bring them out. They gotta die. Benjamin like, nah, we're not doing it. So they're now guilty of that same judgment. Okay. That judgment falls upon them. They're guilty of that same sin. Okay, by not turning them over or uttering it, saying anything. Let's go back. Judges 20 and 14. But the children of Benjamin gathered themselves together out of the cities of Gibeah to go out to battle against the children of Israel. So now they double down on it. They like, we're not turning them over, and we coming to fight against y'all too. Okay. 15. And the children of Benjamin were numbered at the time out of the cities 20,006,000. 20,006,000 men that drew sword, beside the inhabitants of Gibeah, which are numbered 700 chosen men. So you got 26,700 men from Benjamin. 26,000 men that drew sword, and then 700 chosen men. So elite fighters. Verse 16. Among all this people, there were 700 chosen men left-handed. So the 700 chosen men, they were left-handed. Everyone could sling stones at an hairbreadth and not miss. It says everyone could sling stones at an hairbreadth and not miss. You know what a hairbreadth is? First of all, breadth means the width. So a hair breadth. Like, what's the width of a hair? You can't even, like, can't measure that. They could sling stones at a hair breadth and not miss. Verse 17. And the men of Israel beside Benjamin were numbered 400,000 men that drew sword. All these were men of war. So it's 400,000 of the rest of the children of Israel and 26,700 Benjamites coming to war. And the children of Israel arose and went up to the house of God and asked counsel of God and said, which of us shall go up first to battle against the children of Benjamin? So notice that right there. And the children of Israel arose and went up to the house of God and asked counsel of God. So they went to the house of God and asked counsel of God and said, which of us shall go up first to battle against the children of Benjamin? And the Lord said, Judah shall go up first. So send Judah up first. And the children of Israel rose up in the morning and encamped against Gibeah. And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin, and the men of Israel put themselves in array to fight against them at Gibeah. And the children of Benjamin came forth out of Gibeah and destroyed down to the ground of the Israelites that day 22,000 men. So Benjamin, they winning. You got 400,000 of the other Israelites, but Judah went out first, and they got destroyed. 22,000 of them got destroyed. Okay, so Benjamin, hey, brothers, elite fighters. That's why I said you had 700 of them that could sling stones at an hair breadth and not miss. All right, let me show y'all something. Exodus on that. Exodus 25. Let's see. 25. And thou shalt make unto it a border of an handbreadth round about, and thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereof round about. So now the point I wanted is, and thou shalt make unto it a border of an handbreadth. What is that saying? The width of an hand, a handbreadth. So, 4 fingers, whatnot, a handbreadth. These brothers could sling a stone at a hairbreadth and not miss. It was bad. Okay, elite fighters. Verse 22 in Judges 20. And the people, the men of Israel, encouraged themselves and set the battle again in array in the place where they put themselves in array the first day. So they said, listen, we got to go back. Okay, we're not going to give up. Verse 23, and the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until even, and asked counsel of the Lord, saying, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? And the Lord said, go up against him. Okay, and the children of Israel came near against the children of Benjamin the second day, and Benjamin went forth against them out of Gibeah the second day, and destroyed down to the ground of the children of Israel again 18,000 men. All these drew the sword. So first time you had 22,000, and now you got another 18,000 put to death. Benjamin is killing them. That's 40,000 right there. That's 40,000 of them gone. All right. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God. Now I keep highlighting this. Notice it's saying they went to the house of God and asked counsel. We went to the house of God and asked counsel. Saying the same thing here again. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God and wept and sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until even, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. So they listen, something wrong. Okay, we got to repent. We got to ask forgiveness. The Lord judging us. Okay. Let us fast, offer peace offerings. We got to do something. We getting killed. Okay. We need the Lord on our side on this. Verse 27. And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. That's the key right there. That's why I kept saying they were going to the house of God to inquire, going to the house of God to ask counsel and so forth. Verse 27. And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days. So the priests stand before the ark. So the people come ask for counsel. The priests stand before the ark. All right. Saying, shall I yet again go up to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? Or shall I cease? And the Lord said, go up, for tomorrow I will deliver them into thine hand. Okay. Let's, I want to show y'all something on that. The point about the ark was there in those days. Matter of fact, let's get that in Maccabees real quick. We'll come back and deal with the other points. 2 Maccabees chapter 2 about the Ark of the Covenant, because it's nowhere to be found today. Nowhere to be found. 2 Maccabees 2 verse 5. And when Jeremy, that's Jeremiah, when Jeremy came thither, he found a hollow cave wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark and the altar of incense, and so stopped the door. And some of those that followed him came to mark the way, but they could not find it. When Jeremy perceived, he blamed them, saying, as for that place, it shall be unknown until the time that God gather his people again together and receive them to mercy. So nobody's going to know where the Ark of the Covenant, the altar, the incense, and so nobody's going to know where that is till Christ returns and we gather back together. That's why I was making the point. It was there in those days. (27) again, Judges 20 and 27. And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days, saying, shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother, or shall I cease? And the Lord said, go up, for tomorrow I will deliver them into thy hand. So again, I want to show y'all something about that. The ark and the priest standing before it. Now, 1 Samuel. Yeah. Let me go to Exodus first. Go to Exodus. Exodus 28 and 30. Exodus 28 and 30. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. That's the key. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim. These are two stones. Put these in the breastplate. And they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. So the Urim and the Thummim on the breastplate. Do I have? I don't have images of that, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But look it up. Look up Urim and Thummim and just see those, check those images out. All right. Now let's jump to 1 Samuel 23 and 2. Watch this. The Urim and the Thummim. This is what we're highlighting here. And why did it say the priest stood before the ark? 1 Samuel 23:2. Therefore David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I go up and smite these Philistines? See that? David inquired of the Lord, shall I go up and smite these Philistines? And the Lord said unto David, go and smite the Philistines and save Keilah. All right, let's skip ahead just a little bit in Samuel. Let's go to verse 9. 1 Samuel 23:9. It says, and David knew that Saul secretly practiced mischief against him. And he said unto Abiathar the priest, bring hither the ephod. Then said David, O Lord God of Israel, thy servant has certainly heard that Saul seeketh to come to Keilah, to destroy the city for my sake. So now, I'll keep going. Will the men of Keilah deliver me into his hand? Will Saul come down as thy servant have heard? O Lord God of Israel, I beseech thee, tell thy servant. And the Lord said, he will come down. So notice you're seeing a dialogue here almost. But the key is in verse 9 again, and David knew that Saul practiced mischief against him, and he said unto Abiathar the priest, he told the priest, bring hither the ephod. What's on the ephod or the breastplate? The Urim and the Thummim. Okay. Bring hither the ephod. Then said David, O Lord God of Israel, thy servant hath certainly heard that Saul seeketh to come to Keilah to destroy the city for my sake. Will the men of Keilah deliver me into his hand? Will Saul come down as thy servant have heard? O Lord God of Israel, I beseech thee. And the Lord said, he will come down. Okay. Let's go to chapter 30. Show you another example. 1 Samuel chapter 30 and 7. Yes, 37. And David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, I pray thee, bring hither the ephod. Again, bring hither the ephod. And Abiathar brought thither the ephod to David. And David inquired at the Lord. You see this? But there's a connection here with the ephod, the priest, the ephod, and the Lord. Bring the ephod, and David inquired. Verse 8 again. And David inquired at the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue. So it says, I'll read this again. I read it fast. I'm going to slow down. And David inquired at the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. So he got an answer. But notice you have the priest and the ephod. What's on the ephod or the breastplate? The Urim and the Thummim. Let's go back to Judges. You know what? Let me show y'all something. Show y'all this. So this is like obviously a mock-up of the ark. Okay. Here's another one. This is a different. All right, that's about what it looked like. But I want to show y'all something about the ephod and the Urim and the Thummim that we just read about again in Exodus 28. I'll read it. Matter of fact, let me put the ark back on the screen and I'll come back to that. Exodus 28 and 30 again, just to go back to it. I want y'all to see something. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. Okay, so again, the Urim and the Thummim. Okay, so now I'll show y'all this. We're gonna go to the part where it says these answers. I'll deal with that second part and the top part in a second here. These answers by the oracle of Urim and Thummim, which words signify light and perfection. That's what Urim and Thummim means. Light and perfection, or revelation and truth, as it mentions right below that, which I'll read again. These answers by oracle of Urim and Thummim, which words signify light and perfection, or as the Septuagint render them. Septuagint is the Old Testament. Okay. The Greek translation, or as the Septuagint render them, revelation and truth. So that's the proof. Urim and Thummim means light and perfection, or revelation and truth. So they use these stones to reveal truth. Okay, that's why it says they asked counsel of the Lord. They told a priest. It said in Judges, what's his name? Phineas, the son of Eleazar, stood before the ark. Remember, they wore the ephod, the breastplate. Okay, these answers by oracle of Urim and Thummim, which words signify light and perfection, or as the Septuagint render them, revelation and truth, and denote nothing further that I see, but the shining stones themselves, which were used in this method of illumination and revealing the will of God after a perfect and true manner to his people Israel. So you see it says, but these shining stones themselves, which were used in this method of illumination in revealing the will of God after a perfect and true manner to his people Israel. So we utilize those stones that were on the breastplate to inquire of the Lord. Okay. Let me show y'all this other one. Remember it said the shining stones, right? So look at this image right here. Now, obviously, this is just a mock-up. Okay, you see the breastplate, and then the shining stones, or the light emanating from that. Okay. Let me go back to that other one real quick. Watch this. All right, so we're gonna go to the top part. For as to those stones, all right, that part. I gotta get this next page. For as to those stones, which we told you before, the high priest bare on his shoulders, which was sardonyxes, and I think it needless to describe their nature. All right, and I think it needless to describe their nature, they being known to everybody. The one of them shine out when God was present at their sacrifices. The one of them shine out when God was present at their sacrifices. I mean that which was in the nature of a button on his right shoulder, bright rays darting out thence and being seen even by those that were most remote. So it's like you could see the light from far away, like, damn, what, this light shining. Being seen even by those that were most remote, which splendor yet was not before natural to the stone. So you see that it wasn't natural for that particular stone to do that, but because the Lord said, hey, put the Urim and the Thummim on a breastplate. And notice when the priest went in to stand before the ark, they would inquire, this would happen. Okay. I'm going to read that part again from, I'll read it from the top. Told you before, the high priest bare on his shoulders, which was sardonyxes. That's the type of stone it was. And I think it needless to describe their nature, they being known to everybody. the one of them shine out when God was present at their sacrifices. I mean that which was in nature of a button on his right shoulder, bright rays darting out thence and being seen even by those that were most remote, which splendor yet was not before natural to the stone. So it wasn't natural for the stone to light up like that. Now, but the Lord was in that. Okay, remember he told her, that's what the priest was supposed to wear. So I'm gonna scroll down just a little bit. Bear with me for a second. I read from this. This has appeared a wonderful thing to such as have not so far indulged themselves in philosophy as to despise divine revelation. Yet will I mention what is still more wonderful than this. For God declared beforehand by those 12 stones which the high priest bare on his breast, and which were inserted into his breastplate, when they should be victorious in battle. You see this? God declared beforehand by those 12 stones which the high priest bare on his chest, which were inserted into his breastplate, when they should be victorious in battle. So that's why it kept mentioning that they went up to the house of God and inquired of the Lord. And Phineas stood before the ark in those days. And David, there's several examples I gave you on Samuel where David said to Abiathar, hey, bring the ephod. Let me inquire of the Lord. Because you had the 12 stones, the Urim and the Thummim, we would utilize to get counsel from the Lord. Okay. When they should be I'm going back to the text. When they should be victorious in battle. For so great a splendor showed forth from them before the army began to march, that all the people were sensible of God being present for their assistance. Okay. So I'm gonna show y'all this image again. Okay, again, this is just a mock-up, artist rendition. Lord willing, we get some better imagery, on things like this. But I just wanted y'all to see that. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with when go back to Judges 20 and 27 again. And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. And Phineas, matter of fact, let me show you the image again. If you see, it looks like to me the ark is off to the right there. Okay. The ark of the covenant is to the right of the screen. And you see, this is supposed to be the priest standing before it with the breastplate on and the light illuminating from it. It says, and the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. And Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days, saying, shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother, or shall I cease? And the Lord said, go up, for tomorrow I will deliver them into thine hand. All right. So I just want to show you all that about the, why I kept mentioning that, them going before the Lord and inquiring and so forth. It had to do with the ephod, the ark, and so forth. Verse 29, Judges 20 and 29. And Israel set liers in wait round about Gibeah, and the children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the third day. So the first 2 days they getting smashed. 40,000 of them dead. Third day comes, the Lord told him before this, he said, I'm going to deliver them into your hands. All right. And the children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the third day and put themselves in array against Gibeah as at other times. And the children of Benjamin went out against the people and were drawn away from the city. And they began to smite of the people and kill as at other times in the highways, of which one goeth up to the house of God, and the other to Gibeah in the field, about 30 men of Israel. So they come into battle again the third day, and Benjamin starts to kill them. Okay, it looks like they're getting victory again. And the children of Benjamin said, they are smitten down before us, as at the first. But the children of Israel said, let us flee and draw them from the city unto the highways. So they're basically drawing them away from the city. Okay. But verse 29 again, and Israel set liars in wait round about Gibeah. That's the key. They set liars in wait round about the city first, and they had other brothers set up to pull Benjamin away from the city. Verse 32 again, and the children of Benjamin said, they are smitten down before us as at the first. But the children of Israel said, let us flee and draw them from the city unto the highways. And all the men of Israel rose up out of their place and put themselves in array at Baal Tamar. And the liars in wait of Israel came forth out of their places, even out of the meadows of Gibeah. So I'll read it again. And all the men of Israel rose up out of their place, okay, the liars in wait, and put themselves in array at Baal Tamar. And the liars in wait came forth out of their places, even out of the meadows of Gibeah. So Baal Tamar means Lord of the palm trees. All right. Baal is Lord. Tamar goes into palm trees. All right. Baal Tamar, the Lord of the palm trees. 34. And there came against Gibeah 10,000 chosen men out of Israel. And the battle was sore. They knew not that evil was near them. And the Lord smote Benjamin before Israel. And the children of Israel destroyed the Benjamites that day, 25,000 and 100 men. And all these drew sword. So it said, and the Lord smote Benjamin before Israel. And the children of Israel destroyed the Benjamites, that day, 25,000 and 100 men. All these drew sword. So the children of Benjamin saw that they were smitten before the men of Israel, gave place to the Benjamites, because they trusted unto the liars in wait, which they had set beside Gibeah. Okay, so they trusted in the liars in wait they set round about the city. So we're going to draw them out, and then the brothers just lying in wait. They're going to go take the city. Verse 37. And the liars in wait hasted and rushed upon Gibeah, and the liars in wait drew themselves along and smote all the city with the edge of the sword. Now there was, so why is this going on? Because remember, it said they smote all the city with the edge of the sword. Now, remember what happened. You go back to the top or earlier in the chapter, Judges 20 and 13. Now, therefore, deliver us the men of the children of Belial, which are in Gibeah, that we may put them to death and put away evil from Israel. But the children of Benjamin would not hearken to the voice of their brother, the children of Israel. So they like, we're not doing it. We're not turning them over. And then 14 says, but the children of Benjamin gathered themselves together out of the cities unto Gibeah to go out to battle against the children of Israel. So now y'all not only did not want to deliver them, now y'all gonna come and fight against the brothers that's trying to judge the matter. So now all the city got to get judged. Okay, y'all bear that same judgment. Leviticus 5 and 1. 37 again. And the liars in wait hasted and rushed upon Gibeah, and the liars in wait drew themselves along and smote all the city with the edge of the sword. Now there was appointed. Now there was an appointed sign between the men of Israel and the liars in wait, that they should make a great flame with a smoke rise up out of the city. So they previously said, listen, this is what y'all need to do. Set a fire that we may know, okay, that y'all have infiltrated the city and we went into battle and so forth. Now there was appointed a sign between the men of Israel and the liars in wait, that they should make a great flame with smoke rise up out of the city. And when the men of Israel retired in the battle, Benjamin began to smite and kill of the men of Israel about 30 persons. For they said, surely they are smitten down before us as in the first battle. So again, Benjamin thinking they winning, everybody fleeing, they running them out, they, causing them to run away from the city. Meanwhile, the lies in wait went in to take the city. For they said, surely they are smitten down before us as in the first battle. But when the flame became to arise up out of the city with a pillar of smoke, the Benjamites looked behind them, and behold, the flame of the city ascended up to heaven. And when the men of Israel turned again, the men of Benjamin were amazed, for they saw that evil was come upon them. Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Israel unto the way of the wilderness, but the battle overtook them, and them which came out of the cities they destroyed in the midst of them. Okay. Thus they enclosed the Benjamites round about and chased them and trod them down with ease over against Gibeah toward the sun rising. All right. Over against Gibeah toward the east. That's the sun rising. Verse 44. And there fell of Benjamin 18,000 men, all those were men of valor. And they turned and fled toward the wilderness unto the rock of Ramon. And they gleaned of them in the highways 5,000 men, and pursued hard after them unto Gedam, and slew 2,000 men of them. So the rock of Ramon, Ramon means pomegranate or rocky fortress. All right. Rock of Ramon means pomegranate or rocky fortress. When you open a pomegranate, it's like all those seeds in there. Okay. That's why I imagine rocky forest, what that particular area looked like. So where we at? 45. Oh, Gedam. That term at the bottom of verse 45 means desolation. Okay. Gedam means desolation. Verse 46. So that all which fell that day of Benjamin were 20 and 5,000 men that drew the sword. All these were men of valor. But 600 men turned and fled to the wilderness unto the rock of Ramon, and abode in the rock of Ramon 4 months. So you only had, out of all of them, you had 600 men that escaped, and they fled to the wilderness unto the rock of Ramon. Verse 48. And the men of Israel turned again upon the children of Benjamin and smote them with the edge of the sword, as well the men of every city, as beasts and all that came to hand. And they set on fire all the cities that they came to. So Benjamin got judged. Okay. Y'all didn't want to, turn the brothers over. So you got to bear that same judgment. All right. We're gonna jump into chapter 21. Lord willing. Yeah, we can get through this. Now the men of Israel, Judges 21 and verse 1. Now the men of Israel had sworn in Mizpah, saying, remember Mizpah, just to go back to it, Mizpah and Benjamin. All right. In the yellowish orange again, right in the middle, right below Ephraim to the right, Mizpah, which meant watchtower. Now the men of Israel sworn in Mizpah, saying, there shall not any of us give his daughter unto Benjamin to wife. Okay. That's what they said. Listen, none of us, y'all can't have our wives. Nobody's going to give our wives to Benjamin, our daughters and so forth, or give them a wife. It's not happening. And the people came to the house of God and abode there till even before God, and lifted up their voices and wept sore, and said, O Lord God of Israel, Why has this come to pass in Israel, that there should be today one tribe lacking in Israel? And it came to pass on the morrow that the people rose early and built there an altar and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. And the children of Israel said, who is there among all the tribes of Israel that came not up with the congregation unto the Lord? But they had made a great oath concerning him that came not up to the house to the Lord to Mizpah, saying, he shall surely be put to death. So they inquire, who was not here? Let's take a tally, to find out who's not here, because everybody was supposed to come. Verse 6, and the children of Israel repented them for Benjamin, their brother, and said, there is one tribe cut off from Israel this day. How shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing we have sworn by the Lord that we will not give them our daughters to wives? Okay, so how are those other 600 brothers, they can't have children and so forth, obviously. Okay, they can't procreate with each other. So how we gonna preserve the tribes? Verse 8, and they said, what one is there of the tribes of Israel that came not up to Mizpah? So they inquired again, okay, well, who didn't come up to Mizpah to the Lord? And behold, there came none of the camp of Jabesh Gilead to assembly. Okay, for the people were numbered, and behold, there was none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. So they took a tally and said, oh, you know what? Nobody came from Jabesh Gilead. That was the allotments. Let me see if I can find it on this map. Yes, it's up here. Now, if you look at where it says West Manasseh at the top, and you look directly to the right of that in the purple, you see Jabesh Gilead there. Okay, Jabesh Gilead. So I'll read verse 8 and 9 again. And they said, what one is there of the tribe of Israel that came not up to Mizpah to the Lord? And behold, there came none of the camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly. For the people were numbered, and behold, there was none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead. So you see on the particular map, you see Gad primarily there, but you had Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh. Okay. When you read back in the history, they were in that vicinity. Okay, in that land. Verse 10, and the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantness, and commanded them, saying, go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with the women and the children. All right. Let me see something real quick. I want to go back. Let me see. So I'm gonna show y'all Deuteronomy chapter 3, so we can highlight who are the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead, because I mentioned Gad, Reuben, Manasseh, and so forth. So Deuteronomy chapter 3 verse 13, and the rest of Gilead and all Bashan, being the kingdom of Og, gave I unto the half tribe of Manasseh, and all the region of Argob, with all Bashan, which was called the land of the giants. All right. And the rest of Gilead. So you had the kingdom of Og. And do I want to keep going? Yes, 14. Jair, the son of Manasseh, took all the country of Argob unto the coast of Geshuri and Maacathai, and called them after his own name Bashan Havoth Jair unto this day. And I gave Gilead unto Machir, and unto the Reubenites and unto the Gadites I gave from Gilead unto the river Arnon, half of the valley and the border, even unto the river Jabbok, which is by the border of Ammon. Okay, so that's on this map again. All right. You see verse 15, Deuteronomy 3:15 again. And I gave Gilead unto Machir, and unto the Reubenites, and unto the Gadites. I gave from Gilead unto the river Arnon, half of the valley, and the border even to the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon. You see the border of the children of Ammon to the right. And the river Jabbok is that line that meets Ammon. You see Jabbok right under that. If you scroll slightly to the left, you see the river Jabbok there. Okay, but who were the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead? Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 4. And verse 46. On this side of Jordan, in the valley over against Beth Peor, in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites. All right, king of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moses and the children of Israel smote after they were come forth out of Egypt. And they possessed his land and the land of Og, king of Bashan, 2 kings of the Amorites, which were on this side of Jordan toward the sun rising. See this? On this side of Jordan toward the sun rising. So if you see Gad, look at Gad again in the purple, and the river that is directly on the border of Gad, that's the Jordan River. So it says on this side of Jordan toward the sun rising. So on the east of the Jordan, you had the Amorites dwelling here. Okay, the Amorites. So now we're gonna go back to Judges so we can close this thing out. I just want to show y'all the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead. The Amorites dwelt among Gad, Reuben, Manasseh, so forth. The Amorites, the Medic nations. Verse 9. For the people were numbered, and behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantness. I can't say that. Valiantest, that's what it is. Valiantest. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, Go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, and the women and the children. And this is the thing that ye shall do. Ye shall utterly destroy every male, every woman that have lain by man. Okay, every man and every woman that has ever had sex, kill them. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known men. Okay, again, according to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 46 down, that's the Amorites that dwelt there. Okay, amongst our tribes. Remember, because our brother said, listen, we're not giving none of our daughters to Benjamin the wife, but you had other inhabitants that live amongst us, okay? The Amorites. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known man, by lying with any male. That's the same thing. You know man by lying with man. No, or earlier, remember that they said unto the brother, bring him out that we may know him. Okay. Young virgins that had not known man, by lying with any male. And they brought them unto the camp to Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. And the congregation and the whole congregation sent some to speak to the children of Benjamin that were in the rock of Ramon. All right. Rocky fortress, or a pomegranate. So they sent brothers to speak to the Benjamites. Remember, they said they dwelt there 4 months. So after time, a little bit of time goes on. It's like, well, we got mercy on our brothers. How are we going to, allow them to repopulate and so forth. They went to go speak to them and to call peaceably unto them. And Benjamin came again at that time, and they gave them wives, which they had saved alive of the women of Jabesh Gilead. And yet so they sufficed them not. Why did they suffice them not? Because remember, verse 12 said, and they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known man. But how many of the Benjamites fled into the rock of Ramon? It was 600. So it wasn't no sharing. Okay. Each man had to have one woman. Okay. So that's why I said it sufficed them not. So it's only, you only bringing, you got 600 men, 400 women. We can't share them. Okay. So that wickedness they did earlier, where they ran through the brother's concubine, that was some foolishness. That was evil. All right. Okay. That's never supposed to happen. One man, one woman. All right. Matter of fact, I'll show y'all just so y'all remember. Judges 20 and 47. But 600 men turned and fled to the wilderness unto the rock Ramon. 600 men. So now Judges 21 and 12 again. But they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known men. That's why I said that in verse 14. Judges 21 and 14. And Benjamin came again at that time, and they gave them wives, which they save alive among the women of Jabesh Gilead, and yet they sufficed them not. Okay, 200 men short. Okay? Or 200 women short for the men. And the people repented them for Benjamin, because that the Lord had made a breach in the tribe of Israel. Then the elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? And they said, there must be an inheritance for them that be escaped of Benjamin. So there has to be some sort of inheritance for them that are escaped. All right. That a tribe be not destroyed out of Israel. Howbeit, we may not give them wives of our daughters, for the children of Israel have sworn, saying, cursed be he that giveth a wife to Benjamin. Okay, that's why, again, I highlighted, although Gad, Reuben, Manasseh, their allotments, part of their allotments was Jabesh Gilead. That wasn't talking about them. All right, where they went and took wives of them. Verse 19, then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh, yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shechem, on the side of Labana, or Labona. Let me go back to this map, because we read about Shiloh, Bethel, Shechem, and Labona. Let me make sure I can see these. All right. So again, Shiloh, we referenced that earlier. That's in the purple in the middle, right beside Ephraim. Okay. Right above Ephraim to the right, Shiloh there. Then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel. Bethel is right below Shiloh. You see Ophrah and then Bethel right there. All right. Bethel means house of God. That's what that means. Beth meaning house. Okay. El, God. The powers, house of God. On the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shechem. Do I see Shechem? You see? Let me see real quick if I can find it. Make sure I'm not missing it here. I don't see it at the moment. Maybe this map doesn't have, I thought this map had it, but in this very moment, I don't see it. So, but anyway, 19 again. Then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shechem, on the south of Labona. All right. Labona, oddly enough, means frankincense. I don't know why, but that's what it means. So that yearly feast, it doesn't specifically say what it was here. That yearly feast says, then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh yearly. Remember, Shiloh was where the tabernacle was. Okay. Let's get Exodus 23. And man, Exodus 23, we're almost there. Close this out. And 14. Three times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days as I commanded thee in the time appointed of the month Abib. For in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. And the feast of harvest, the feast of first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. Okay, so that yearly feast was either obviously Passover, Pentecost, or Tabernacles. But I want to show y'all this in Zechariah. More than likely, they're referring to Tabernacles, and I'm showing y'all based on this. Zechariah 14 and 16, because they're gonna have to rehearse this in the kingdom as well. That's why I'm showing y'all. Zechariah 14 and 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso would not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. So they're going to get death. Okay. No rain, no crops, no animals can't eat. Everybody dies. Upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt come not up, and if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord shall smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, so more than likely it's Tabernacles, but again, it doesn't say specifically. Judges 21 and 20. Therefore they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances, then come ye out of the vineyards. Now it said the daughters of Shiloh. When you go back to verse 12 in this chapter, Judges 21 and 12, and they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known man, by lying with any male. Now, give me a second. I just thought about something. I just want to look real quick. Okay, right. So we highlighted based on Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 46 to 48, I believe, that the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead were the Amorites. Now, this verse in Judges 21 and 12 says, And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had not known man, by lying with any male. And they brought them unto the camp of Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan, right? Shiloh in the land of Canaan. So what I want y'all to see about Canaan, or Shiloh in Canaan, was in verse 21. And see and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh, the daughters of Shiloh. So it said Canaan in verse 12. Now, when you look at Genesis chapter 10, verse 15, and Canaan begot Sidon his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite. Notice it mentions the Amorite there. So the Amorites are a subgroup of Canaanites. Okay. And Canaan begot Sidon his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. Afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. So verse 12 in Judges 21 mentions, it said, Shiloh, which is the land of Canaan. Verse 21 said, and see and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh. So those are the Canaanites. It doesn't mention which subgroup, whether it's Jebusite, Amorite, Hivite, so forth. It didn't mention. So we could just say Canaanite, okay, just to be safe, because that was in the land of Canaan. All right. Which was obviously Ephraim's territory. When you look at the map, which I'll show y'all again right now, just so y'all can see it. Again, Shiloh, just for reference. I referenced it already several times. But Canaanites. And see and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances, then come ye out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. And it shall be, when their fathers or their brethren come out us to complain, like, hey man, what the hell y'all doing? You just come over here and just grab sisters up, don't say that to us. When the fathers or their brethren come unto us to complain, that we will say unto them, be favorable unto them for our sakes. Please show some mercy for our sake, because we reserve not to each man his wife in the war, for ye did not give unto them at this time that ye should be guilty. And the children of Benjamin did so, and took them wives according to their number, of them that danced whom they caught, and they went and returned unto their inheritance, and repaired the cities, and dwelt in them. All right, so that was the remaining 200 that didn't get a wife earlier. They found wives of the daughters of Shiloh. Verse 24. And the children of Israel departed thence at that time, every man to his tribe and to his family, and they went out from thence, every man to his inheritance. In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. So that is the end of the history in the AM. That's Judges 19 through 21. So Lord willing, y'all got something out of the lesson, Israel. Right? Again, I'm Captain Josiah. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all definitely check out the other captains in the history in the AM, and subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe to the pages, all the pages, social media and whatnot. All right. With that, Israel, shalom. Y'all have a good morning. All right. And the rest of your day. Shalom.